Here we have a 2023 Honda Pilot. This one comes in the touring trim level with all-wheel drive and the beautiful crystal black pearl. And then we have black leather interior. And the powertrain consists of that 285 horsepower, 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. And that's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And this is one step below the top of the line elite trim. But coming around to the front end here, we get LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights, and the lights don't flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. And we also have LED fog lights down here. But I love how they did the gloss black on the grille. The only black plastic you see is down here. And a great looking black, and I love the mirror finish trim as well. But coming around to the side here, we do get 20-inch aluminum wheels, which look fantastic. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then over here we have our memory seat function, so you just hit set and then wait till it beeps at you. And then you have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors, window lock there, power door lock controls, and then we have power mirrors, so right side, left side, you can offset in the middle, and you use this dial to adjust those mirrors. Love the storage space here. You get a bottle holder here, and then this is for our power lift gate, traction control. Gonna go ahead and open the hood for later. Then we have a manual tilt telescope steering wheel. And then this is a 10-way power driver seat, and we get 2-way power lumbar support. But a huge shout out to Darrell Waltrip Honda for allowing me to review this Pilot today. I'll leave a link below in the description if you're interested in getting this one, or you can look at their entire inventory as well. But I like the Touring because you get a lot of standard features. I just reviewed an LX, so about a 10 grand difference between both of these. You definitely get a ton of amenities for that $10,000 though. Now this one, I don't think, I'll have to see if it has a tow package standard, but the LX I just reviewed had a add-on option for the towing package, which was pretty nice. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's go ahead and check out the space back here. So it doesn't look that good, and then pull up there, and then we have all that additional space. I will say it feels a bit less roomy in terms of leg room, but I think I have the seat quite a bit far back as well. But I just did the LX and my knees weren't touching the back of the seat at all. So that was pretty impressive. But also, I don't remember if there's a seat back pocket here, but you get seat back pockets on both sides in this Touring. You have your rear AC controls here, fan speed, where the air is blowing from. You can turn the whole system on and off. Then you can set your auto mode there, turn that off by adjusting the fan speed. You can adjust temperature here. And then right down there is 2 USB-A ports. And then this is the third seat in the middle, set down so we can use the cup holders and a little storage pocket here. And then you just pull this strap here, and then you can get it, bear with me, back up that way. And then again, you pull that strap to let it down. And then there is a strap you can pull here if you want to take this whole seat out, and you're able to do that. It's hard to do with one hand though. But I have that whole third row folded down. And there are the rear window blinds that come with this as well on both sides. I just have it up here, and then to show you the difference with it down here. But let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. Fuel filler here. So the reason I have the key fob in my hand, and the reason it keeps beeping at me, is because I wanted to show you all how the hands-free liftgate works. There's a view of the back. But all you have to do is just put your foot right in the middle there, and it'll let up. And a lot of these are kind of wonky when it comes to that. It doesn't always want to do it, but this one, first try, open and shut, worked perfectly. But storage pockets on the side, then your jack and all that for your spare tire is going to be underneath here. And then you have a 12 volt there, and a little storage pocket underneath here. And there's the spare. And that dual exhaust too. But again, you can use the key fob or just put your foot right there for about a second, and it'll shut by itself. And then here is our front passenger seat. So we get, I think, 4-way, 6-way power there. And then we have a lockable glove compartment right in here. And then the owner's manuals are in this one as well. And we do get that additional top pocket, which I love having. But as we come around to the front here, we're just gonna go ahead and pop the hood. And there's that 3.5 liter V6. And then you just have to prop it up there. Well, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat next. So, I love the leather wrap steering wheel here. I wanted to drive an LX back to back with this so I could kind of go through the amenities. One of the best things is having this leather wrap steering wheel as opposed to that vinyl one that you get. I can't talk today. But here, another big thing is I think you get a 7-inch screen in the LX, and this is a 9-inch screen. So you have navigation here, which is great to have. And then you can just go to your settings here. Map options, route options, all of that's in there. And it's just super intuitive as well. And then you go to that search bar on the side there, and you can type in an address, you can go home, set all that up, gas stations, everything. So if I type in, say I want to find the closest Walmart, it'll pull up addresses that match a Walmart. And you have voice recognition as well that you can use. But I also like having the audio source shortcut here. That is great to have if you want to just change the radio. AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio. We also get wireless Apple CarPlay. And then we have Android Auto compatibility. And then I like how the radio is set up. The extra 2 inches are really used to make things easier. I can just walk through everything. You have your notifications here. Everything just makes sense. And then you always have these down at the bottom there, your smart shortcuts, the display mode, which you can go ahead and toggle that. If you want to change the brightness or turn the whole display off, you can do that. So really great stuff. And then your general settings are here. And if you want to change your language, there you go. Date and time, all of that. And then your connections here for Bluetooth. Connect new device, walks you right through it. And the Bose system that is on this one, I think it's a 12-speaker Bose system. You show that. It's pretty remarkable. It's a great sound, of course, but it's also kind of loud in your face too, which is hard. Some systems don't do that. They do one or the other. So love having that. And your vehicle settings are right in here. Driver assist system set up. You can go through all of that. The lane keeping system, forward collision alert, adaptive cruise, all of that. And your meter set up there. If you want to change your speed or distance units, you can do that right in there. So again, a lot that you can do there. You can use this as volume, mute there, and then unmute and turn it down. Your backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then hazards are here. And let me just say, this air is very strong that blows out here. I'm on the #1 level, and even though I'm only blowing it, well, it's actually on auto mode, so I'm impressed how hard this air conditioning blows. But you get 3-stage heated front seats. You can adjust fan speed here, cut the whole system on and off there, auto mode. Then turn that off, adjust the fan speed, and then you can unsync by doing this, or you can sync and unsync with the touch of a button. And then your rear AC, you can cut that system off there, or go to the settings there and adjust that. And you can do that from either side, or you can lock the whole system so that the rear AC doesn't work, or the rear passengers can't control the rear AC. USB-A, USB-C inputs there, 12-volt. Wireless charging pad, which I love that you can power it on and off. And another good thing is there's just enough room to fit a second phone there. So if one person wants to use the wireless pad while somebody else wants to charge, they can do that. And then for the shifter, press P for park, pull here for reverse, press N for neutral, and then press the D for drive, and then the S for the sport mode. And then you do have sport, normal, econ, snow, trail, sand, and then tow mode there. Now, please leave a comment below if you know, is this the shift mode now in the Touring? Because in the LX, there's not a drive mode there for sport, but there is one in the Touring, and then you still have that same where you can change it from drive to sports. So I'm confused by that. So I'll try and figure that out on the test drive, but your auto stop toggles here, your downhill brake control or hill descents there. Then you have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, the brake, press down to disengage. Automatic brake hold toggle is here. And then you have your cup holders, center console cubby space. And I'm letting back the panoramic sunshade now. And there are the controls for that. You can push to tilt, pull to slide, and then pull for the roof sunshade. And there are your dome lights here. Sunglass holder, and then of course, you can have it so you can just keep an eye on the kids. But I like that that whole sunshade went back in one touch. And you do have to hit the roof button twice to get the roof all the way back, or you can one touch and it'll go about 3/4 of the way. And then you have a garage door transmitter here in the mirror. And then back to the steering wheel, the stalks here, turn signals. Then you have auto mode, turn that off there. Then you have corners on, and then fog lights on and off there. High beams there, flash there. And then in auto mode, you have the high beam assist there, and you can still flash there. Now to the windshield wiper controls, you have one time, intermittent, low, high. You can adjust your intermittent wipers here. And then your rear wiper, intermittent on, and then you have your rear wiper fluid there, either way. And then you can pull up here for the front wiper fluid. Now we do have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel for that manual shift mode. Volume controls are here. Track list to radio station presets we can go through here. And then this is the home button, and you use the scroll bar. All of this is for the left side of the gauge cluster to go through all that. So tire pressure monitors are here. And then if you want to go ahead and go through your speed, elapsed time, all of that is right in there. Then voice recognition buttons here, all of your safety features here. So adaptive cruise, gap adjust for that, lane keeping system, adjust the cruise there. And then we do have blind spot monitors as well. But there's the push button start. And finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And then this button is also for our power lift gate in the back too. But now let's go ahead and take this 2023 Honda Pilot Touring out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Honda Pilot Touring, I'm so glad I drove the LX before getting behind the wheel of this, just because I wanted to compare the differences between this vehicle and the base model Pilot. And it's a world of difference. Now, if you don't really care about certain amenities, like with most things, a lot of people don't miss something until it's gone. If you're not used to having heated seats or the navigation system, all of that, you're not gonna miss it necessarily in the LX trim. Because that's still a pretty nice SUV. You don't have your power seats or anything fancy, but you're saving $10,000 on the price. And again, if you're not used to having that, you're not necessarily gonna miss it. But if you're used to having wireless Apple CarPlay, if you're used to having heated seats and navigation system, I highly recommend just paying the extra $10,000 and getting that and everything else that comes on the Touring trim level, specifically the all-wheel drive. Because the LX I drove had all-wheel drive too. They all drive the same, but I just feel like with this one having the different drive modes makes a huge difference. Now, in the LX I drove, I didn't have trail, I didn't have sand. I think I had tow, and that one had a tow hitch. But I also, this one, like I said earlier, has a sport mode, but I thought that's what tapping the button did. but it seems like it's 2 different drive modes. So leave a comment if you can, if you know what the difference is. It just seems to, they seem like they're both sport modes, but they're different sport modes, and that's very interesting to me. But of course, this one knows how to lay the power down. Just the Pilots in general having that 285 horsepower system. So it does tend to want to shift a little hotter with the S on. Let's see what it does when I put it into actual sport mode. So not a big difference there. Again, I'm curious if it's just 2 sport modes, 2 ways to turn the sport mode on, or if there's something else going on there. But still in sport mode, pretty peppy. Love how it pulls. And I said this in the LX review, but having the paddle shifters certainly helps in terms of how you put the power down. I just like hearing the downshifts, honestly. And not the snappiest transmission, but it does what you tell it to most of the time. But I'm gonna leave it in a sport mode, getting on the interstate here, and then I'm gonna try and get it back into eco mode, if possible, to test out how it does cruising. But we're not gonna floor, we're just gonna give it a little bit of throttle here. Love that sound again. One of the best sounding SUVs out now, I think. Let's put it into Econ. Let's go ahead and throw on the adaptive cruise. And then with the lane centering, we're gonna cruise right here. And just to show off the system, love Honda's safety system here. The lane centering is superb. The adaptive cruise is pretty nice. And as I adjust my gap, it's very quick to respond. It doesn't wait till it's on a bumper and then slams the brakes like a lot of adaptive cruise systems do. And you can just tell it's always awake. A lot of systems are not that way, but this one certainly is. But in terms of competition, you have the Traverse. I don't think it's necessarily a Yukon or Escalade competitor, but I do think that it's kind of smack dab in the middle of both of those, just because it gives you the best of both worlds. You get that 3-row SUV feel, and then you also have the maneuverability of a smaller SUV, not necessarily a big Tahoe, big Yukon, big Expedition. And specifically with how this is priced, around that $50,000 mark, it's pretty impressive what all you get. And then you also have that Honda Pilot reliability, which these are known to go 300, 400,000 miles. I don't know if there's a lot of data on the 10-speed, but definitely with your V6. But all in all, I think it's a good SUV for the money. I like the new redesign. It looks great. And I just like everything that comes on this Pilot. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Honda Pilot in the touring trim level.